Man, what's up YouTube? Stuntastic 210 back at you with another episode of Cinema on the Couch. This time covering one of the biggest letdowns this year, Batman versus Superman. And if any of you have seen Deadpool, you know it set a high precedent for comic book films releasing this year. Granted, it had an R rating and Batman versus Superman was PG-13. It may give studios another reason to look at trying to change their rating to appeal to a much mature audience, because if you see the numbers that Deadpool have been bringing in, it's almost close to like 700 million worldwide. So rating the film rated R really doesn't have an effect on how much money the film will be bringing in. If you pay attention to what Ryan Reynolds did, he really put time and effort into it, worked on the story, made sure he got it right. Now, granted, Batman versus Superman was coming off the Man of Steel, and I don't put it past Warner Brothers. They wanted to fast track the Justice League and crank out another film. So I don't think they really took that much time and effort to put into the product when they finally released it. The trailers looked amazing, and it gave you a whole idea of like this was going to be one of the biggest films of the century, because essentially you have two iconic characters coming together for the first time. This was basically Heat featuring Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. You saw what kind of magic they made when they appeared in Heat, directed by Michael Mann. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you check it out. By far one of the best heist films in a long time, especially the scene when they actually rob the bank. It's at least 8 minutes long and it looks so realistic. But that's what you kind of wanted in Batman versus Superman. You wanted those two iconic characters to bring across some kind of powerful portrayal on screen. I just wasn't feeling it. Ben Affleck did a really good job, in my opinion, filling in for Christian Bale, doing Batman and Bruce Wayne. He seemed very believable. The one person I had a huge gripe about was Jesse Eisenberg and his Lex Luthor. That shit pissed me off beyond belief because it didn't seem natural at all. It seemed like all his scenes were forced. He didn't bring a natural appeal to the character. Now, when you look back at The Dark Knight, you see how Heath Ledger was with the Joker. Like, you really believe he was that psychotic. It didn't seem like he was overacting. It just seemed like a natural persona that he was carrying across the screen. But Jesse Eisenberg, I read online that they said he might not even be back for the Justice League films. And judging by your performance in Batman versus Superman, I understand why. The other gripe I had was Lois Lane. This bitch getting in trouble every chance she get. Like, Superman can't take a day off without her being in peril. She's one death away from being in Final Destination. Like, can you please just stay out of trouble once in this whole entire movie? You had one part, I can count 3 off top. She damn near got shot. Lex Luthor done pushed her ass off a building, and Superman is at both of them. Then in the final fight sequence, she decides to go take a late night swim and damn near drowns while Superman is fighting Doomsday. Never mind, this is one of the biggest fights of his life and he's trying to save the earth from more chaos, but she decides to go off and damn near drown. Oh no, it's okay, Lois. I wasn't doing anything, just fighting this big ass monster that just happens to look like a Ninja Turtle, but I'll be okay because I'll hear your thumps and cries for help. Now I'll just stop what I'm doing and come and save you. Bruh, you killing me, Lois Lane. She has got to be the dingiest person on earth. Why your ass is always in trouble, I don't know why. But that was the thing that kind of struck a chord with me. Those two performances, especially with, like I said, Jesse Eisenberg. Man, it was hard to watch. He came off more annoying than anything. I wouldn't really place all the blame on Zack Snyder. You can tell he really put his effort into it, but I would blame more so the studio because they were trying to fast track this film and try essentially catch up with what Marvel has done And Marvel has really put a lot of effort, not only in their cinematic film universe, but also on television. When you look at what they've done with Jessica Jones, Daredevil, they also have Luke Cage coming out in September. So they've, you know, in Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they've really had time to meticulate and perfect what they've been bringing across to actual, you know, fans. And you can tell it pays off. They've invested and it's really paying off. I just don't see DC coming through like I thought they would, even though I have high hopes for Suicide Squad, because they have characters that aren't necessarily known to the public, so they can they have some sort of wiggle room as far as what they can do. You know, essentially what Marvel did with Guardians of the Galaxy. You had a team of unknowns that came together, and, you know, but Marvel did a great job of, you know, having it lighthearted, but it was also a really great film, and the performances were great as well. So I'm kind of leaving hope for Suicide Squad that maybe with Jared Leto at the helm as the Joker, he has the biggest task by far to try to live up to what Heath Ledger did in The Dark Knight. And if you've seen Jared Leto's performances in the past, you know he really can deliver, because he delves into the character like he really lives it. So I'm really hopeful that his portrayal will, essentially, succeed what Heath Ledger did in his portrayal of the Joker. But for me, Batman versus Superman, it was just a huge letdown, especially because some people have been waiting for this movie for a long ass time. I mean, even myself, growing up, you see Batman and Superman, you see the cartoons, especially DC animated films. They do an awesome job with the animation, but when it comes to live action, motherfuckers just, I don't know what they be doing. I don't know what they be thinking. It's like they just turn everything off and forget what they did, animation wise. And then if you look at it, they have The Killing Joke coming out in a few months, and that will probably be way better than Batman versus Superman, even though it's animated, because they put more effort into animated DC films than they do to live action. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. Batman versus Superman. Zack Snyder did a great job, especially when it came to choreographing the fight scenes. He did 300. The Batman warehouse fight sequence, best part of the fucking movie for me, because you saw how badass Batman can be when he's actually unleashed, and he can do his thing, because he is a one-man army with his goddamn utility belt, and you saw that come across. Zack Snyder did a great job as far as choreographing that, but in a whole, the movie just didn't do it for me. Next up, we got Captain America Civil War, and I'm hoping it's directed by the same people that did Winter Soldier, so I'm pretty sure it won't be a letdown. The Russo brothers did a great job in Winter Soldier, so I'm sure they're going to carry on what they did into Civil War. The trailers look great, but again, the trailers look great for Batman too. Batman versus Superman. Man, they pulled the wool over your eyes with that shit, because when I saw the one trailer, Batman hit Superman ass with that combo breaker and beat the shit out of him. But then when you get to the movie, it's like maybe 2-3 minutes of just fighting. And going off, spoiler alert, okay, I probably should have said it before, but spoiler alert, the one thing that really didn't make sense to me, Superman had to go back and save Lois Lane because she was trying to get the scepter. Like I said, she was trying to take her late night dip. So he goes to pull up the scepter. He damn near drowns because the scepter is made of kryptonite, but he somehow takes the scepter, flies at fucking Mach 2, and kills Doomsday. Motherfucker, you could barely get your ass out the damn pool, but you expect me to believe you can fly at Mach 2 and just kill this motherfucker instantaneously? You couldn't pass that shit off to Wonder Woman. I'm pretty sure she's just as strong as you. But nah, you gotta be the Boy Scout and try to do the shit yourself. Nah, bro, I can't believe it. This shit ain't real anyway. What the fuck am I talking about? Anyway, that's my review. See it for yourself. I saw it in D-box seats. Mind you, D-box seats, them motherfuckers rattle. They give you a little shake. And sometimes when there's dry spots in the movie, you kind of forget them motherfuckers do move. So there were a couple of instances where I got a little startled. You know, I got a little riled up. And I got a little wiggled because I forgot. That was my first time experiencing D-box. Definitely want to check out a movie in D-box seats. Absolutely phenomenal. But make sure, I would say it's definitely a rent. You can go check it out at the Dollar Movies when it finally gets out in theaters. But check it out for yourself. Biggest gripes, Jesse Eisenberg for sure though. Man, killing me, bro. Anyway, that's my review. Check it out for yourself at your own risk. And make sure you check back in with me. Stuntastic 210, Cinema on the Couch. Until next time, Civil War. Peace.